Hey, what's up, guys? So, if you haven't seen any update on spoilers in a while, it's because I was kind of waiting for one or two more to drop, then I didn't have time to do, some of the other ones. So, we're just kind of going over some of the cards that got announced slash were revealed in the past, I guess, week. So, starting off with Flora here. Um, don't if you haven't seen Flora, it is in the Earth Starter prototype decks. So it's currently a 1/4. When it's normal enchanted, you can add one spirit, Earth Elestral from your hand to the or from the underworld to your hand. So this mainly is getting you like your Rumba gems or your pandas. I don't see this card being super useful at the moment, but it would be interesting to see this kind of grab some Pandasins, use Pandasins again, get Earthquake back. Like, it's slow is the biggest issue with the card. It's a good effect, but it's slow. But it's interesting if you play it, stick it, grab a Rumba Gem, use Rumba Gem, search something else. This is a card that's kind of just going to be played in a slower, maybe tempo control Earth deck to just kind of keep filling or reusing important cards. The best targets again, I think, are Rumba Gem, Penterrorizing, and honestly, maybe even if you build a deck that's built purely around like Tectorus, this would be a good card because now this is getting your Tectorus back from your underworld every time it dies. I think this card is good, but doesn't really have enough to work yet with it. If we get to more stronger Earth Elestrals that are one cost with really good like kind of entering like cast effects, this card's going to get better. But right now, it's I think just very slow with a good effect. Then I'll skip these face downs. I'm going to go into by order. So we have Hydrake, Pentura, and Twindra. So Hydrake is a 4/1. When it's destroyed in battle, you can special enchant a Twindra from your hand or deck to your field and attack. Twindra, the 5/4. When destroyed in battle, you can special enchant Pentora from your hand or deck. And then Penterror is a 15. It's the highest base stat line we have. 8. And when it's destroyed in battle, you can special enchant any number of Hydrake or Twindras from your hand or deck to your field in attack position. That is insane. But here's the thing with it. This going 1, 2, 3, just doing that is like at 6 because you're destroying the Hydrake, you're destroying the Twindra, you're losing those spirits. So by the time you get to Pantera, you've just spent 6 to get a 15/8 in board. Compare that to say Stratamoth, where you're also spending 6 to get another large beater into play with the ability to remove runes. So you're trading off a little bit of attack power and the ability to remove runes to, if this gets destroyed, you get some more Hydrakes and Twindras out, which then can get you back into Pantera. But let's say you have an open board, your Pantera gets destroyed, and you summon out, and plus someone's gonna destroy it in combat. Like, as is right now, it's 15 attack, nothing's getting higher than that, realistically easy. So you get let's say your Pantera dies in combat, and you're gonna go get your Twindra and Hydrakes. Let's say you get 2 and 2, because that's what you have left in your deck. So you have 6 for the Pantera, plus another 4 for the 2 Twindra, that's 10, plus another 2 for the 2 more Hydrakes, that's 12. So you're down to 8, assuming you've taken no other damage this game. I don't know. That's really risky. 'Cause and then you go back into Pantera, let's say, after your Twindras or Hydrakes are destroyed, and now you just spent 15 to like that's really expensive. So you have basically nothing left over for your counter runes and invoke runes and stuff. So unless you do this like super early turn 1/2 kind of situation, your Pantera is just gonna eat up your own resources. Now you can use Shield of Achilles on it to really make your opponent frustrated. Now, Shield of Achilles is kind of the answer to all the big threats right now. So I don't mind that. Like, I think Shield of Achilles is a great answer to like these super strong kind of interesting effect things. And I think Pantera is going to see a lot of play just because of how resilient it is. I just think it's going to be a very aggressive win style and a very risky win style because Wind already likes to expend a lot with Sorlet, with Aeolus. Um, and ironically enough, if the Twindra had like a higher attack stat, it would be worse. Like at a 5/4, it trades against some of the bigger 1 drops, but like at 5/4, your opponent can't crash it against the majority of one drops. So your opponent can't really go Hydrate Crash, Twin Drake Crash, Pantera, attack again. Like, I think 5 is a good set. I think if it went to 6, it would be a worse card. So if it needs to get nerfed, give it one more attack, and then it's gonna feel real bad because you can't just crash, crash, crash. Um, but it's a really cool line, and I'd love to see what other support we might get for it. And I think it just looks really cool. But I think it sounds scarier than it actually is because of how much it costs to kind of reset its abilities and get the Hydrix and Twinges back out and all that jazz. So I'm not too worried about it, but I think it's a very, very cool line of cards and something really cool for Wind. And now the last two cards I have here are just from today. We have Nectar and Waspire. And part of the reason I wanted to go into these last is because normal enchant is now a normal cast or a special cast. And when it says like Ignitar, when you cast as Ignitar, that is cast is combining both normal cast and special cast. Or your beforehand normal enchant, special enchant. So this card is basically once you get into play, once you cast it into play, you can search your deck for up to 2 more Ignitars and special cast them in attack position with a fire. When this effect activated, you have to skip your battle phase. That is, skip your battle phase this turn. Some people immediately had a little bit of concerns, like, oh, I'm just skipping battle phase. You're skipping your battle phase for the turn. And for that, you get 3/1/2s, so you get a pretty wide board off the rip. I think this card's going to be really strong because your opponent's going to have to be able to deal with a bunch of 1/2s, which theoretically they can. It's just they're not going to be able to do it fast enough before you, let's say, ascend into a Blazarus or send into Krakatuga or some other big fire or send into Leonite. Like this card's definitely going into my Ketchup Must Control deck because it's just going to make it so easy to get to Leonite or Sonic Core, etc. Like it's going to be an interesting card. So I think Ignactar is really good. I'm not super excited about Waspire. It's ascended kind of evolution line. So it's a 2 mana or 2 element fire 5/2. Can disenchant 1 fire from Ignactar or a Waspire, and if you do, you force your opponent to expend 2. So in a sense, you're kind of sacrificing your Ignactar to burn your opponent out. It's not a bad card. At 5/2, I think its stats are a little low for a 2 cost, but it does add more burn potential, and you're going to have so many Ignactars on the board when you get this out if you played Ignactar first, that you can kind of just send your Ignactars and fling them at your opponent, which is just, I think, really fun. It's a good card. It's not great. I like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably like a 5. I think it's like an extremely balanced card, if not maybe a 4. Like if 5 is exactly a perfect balanced card, it's maybe like a 4, 4.5, 5. It's right there. It's a little maybe a little low, but I think it's good. So those are kind of the reveals today. I'll make a video kind of going over the cast change. It kind of got flung on everybody, but we'll make sure that it makes sense. And I think it's really going to help kind of clear up enchanted as a state versus enchanting as an action. But other than that, those are the 6 spoilers from the past week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all sometime when we get more spoilers. Have a good one, and peace.